For the second year, the Siena College Research Institute has taken a look at the effect of the economy on Pennsylvania residents. This year, despite the fact that it's been a tough economic year, optimism is up across Pennsylvania. Right now, a majority of Pennsylvania residents think that both the economy and their personal finances are going to improve over the next year. Despite the optimism that most Pennsylvanians feel, there are immediate problems that everyone is aware of. Gas, food, and energy costs right now pose a serious hardship for between 70 and 80% of Pennsylvania residents. Most especially, Pennsylvanians are bracing for the coming cold this winter, with nearly 80% worried about the cost of home heating oil and home heating costs this winter. Again, despite the optimism that many Pennsylvanians feel that the economy will improve and that their personal finances will improve, some of the evidence that it's been a tough year. 25% of Pennsylvania households say that somebody in their household has gotten a second job over the course of the last year in order to make ends meet. Similar numbers, about 1 in every 4 Pennsylvanians, have seen their hours cut back at work or know someone in their household who's been laid off. And 17%, nearly 1 out of every 5 Pennsylvania residents, know someone who has suffered a foreclosure over this last year. What are Pennsylvanians doing about some of these issues? Well, people are watching the way they spend their money ever more carefully. The percent of Pennsylvanians who keep a monthly budget is up. Right now, about half of all Pennsylvanians have a monthly budget. And people are doing things like couponing more, turning down those thermostats, and cutting back on impulse buys. Certainly, saving money and watching your pennies is an exercise that everybody in Pennsylvania is now working on. In terms of public policy, the number one issue that Pennsylvanians told us that they care very strongly about is the federal budget deficit. Nearly 7 out of every 10 Pennsylvanians say right now it's time for the federal government to balance that budget. On a couple of other important issues, tax cuts for those Americans and those people in Pennsylvania making over $250,000 a year. In general, Pennsylvanians are divided on that issue, but a small plurality say it's time right now to end those tax cuts on those people making over $250,000 a year. In terms of repealing health care reform, Pennsylvanians are evenly divided. Approximately equal percentages say repeal it or keep it in place. Certainly, the people of Pennsylvania are going to watch Washington very closely on those issues. Pennsylvanians continue to be very worried about the effect that the economy has on them. Nearly 6 in 10 right now say they worry about money more than ever before. The biggest worries tend to be long-term. Am I going to be able to educate my kids? Am I going to be able to secure a comfortable retirement? And am I going to be able to have affordable health care? In each of those cases, about twice as many people say they think that the next year may see a worsening of those conditions as opposed to those that see an improvement. Still, Pennsylvanians remain overall more optimistic than not and are hoping for a better year ahead.